So in this review, I want to take a quick look at the Lamy Aion. This is a relatively new pen from Lamy, sold in a fountain pen, rollerball, and ballpoint. This is the ballpoint. You could tell because the ballpoint is the twist retractable as opposed to a capped pen, but they all have this same sort of fundamental design. And the distinctive characteristics of this pen, which was designed by someone named Jasper Morrison, he's a British designer, is an all aluminum body, basically a one-piece aluminum upper and a brushed aluminum, a satin aluminum grip, and then back to a brushed aluminum in that sort of front area. The clip is a polished steel. I believe they call it a mirror polish or glass polish, and it's spring-loaded, which is a nice sort of higher-end feature that Lamy uses on many of their pens. The Aion is largely devoid of logos. It's just a little bit of a logo right there. It just says Lamy, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, that's a one-piece upper in this brushed aluminum, which is really nice. It's sold in black and a silver. In this case, I opted for the black, and it's like a anodized black, so you could definitely feel the texture of aluminum, and as you use it, you could feel and hear the texture. You could probably just make that out. The grip is a slightly different texture. You could tell there in the contrast, brushed satin. The pen opens and closes with a twist mechanism, just like that. It's a nice, about I don't know, what is that? Not quite 180 degree twist, and it firmly locks into place. The fit and finish of this pen are very nice, especially considering it's not a usually expensive pen. You could have one of these for maybe around $50 for the ballpoint, maybe $55. Cheaper if you buy it from a non-official dealer. I don't want to get too much into that, but Lamy pens are available from all over the place, and they're easy to find used. So the pen is built very well, so it's something I would feel confident about buying used. So you could hear that twist action. You hear a little bit of aluminum on aluminum, which is cool. And then you could see that twist action. It locks very nicely and has a good feel. To open up the pen, you twist it in the other direction and twist and twist and twist and twist. And you could see more aluminum down here, and then Lamy's standard M16 ballpoint refill. In this case, I replaced the M16M that it comes with, the medium refill, with an M16B. That's the broad refill. I just like how the broad writes a little bit better. The pen does have an interesting flaw. First of all, there is a spring in here, so there is a little bit of give there. It's not just a perfect fit. There is a bit of a flaw with the pen, which many people have brought up, and that is basically that the way the pen works is that it screws down and it unscrews. But sometimes when you unscrew it, rather than the middle piece coming away with it, it won't unscrew, it'll just come out entirely. And that just has to do with there being a sort of a press fit action. And what will happen is that this piece will get stuck in the top, and you'll just come away with the wrong part. It's like a little bit confusing until you see it in action, but you can see it right here. I twisted the wrong way, and this twist mechanism actually came away with the lower as opposed to staying in the top. Here's what should have happened. This whole portion should have come away with the lower, and this part should have stayed in the upper. And that is, I would say, just a straight up design flaw, because this piece is not held firmly enough in the upper it doesn't really matter because all you have to do now is press it down. And if I untwist it now, you could see that it's fine. But some people are saying I cannot figure out how to refill my Lamy Aion. And that is because this piece is stuck to this upper piece. I wish I had names for it, but basically the refill is locked away in that piece and it's coming apart incorrectly. It's not a huge deal, it's just confusing and it kind of falls short of everyone's expectations of Lamy, because the company is known for their excellent build quality. I don't know how many of the pens that arrived on, but it definitely happened to mine, and I've read about it happening to other people. I haven't sent the pen back to get it adjusted or whatever. It didn't seem like, giving up on it for 4+ weeks, but there you have it. Sorry. As for the comfort level, I'd say this pen is very good if you like a slightly larger grip. It's a wider diameter than typical pens. Let's see what I have here. So here's that grip relative to a Platinum Preppy. You can see it is a good deal wider. And here is it relative to a Sharpie. So it's a wider grip, which I like, but I know is not for everyone. And if you are very into, say, a thinner pen like a Lamy ST or a Lamy CP1, this is not going to be the pen for you. But again, if you think the Lamy CP1 is too thin, which many people do, then you'll want to look at the Aion. The aluminum is, I would say, comfortable to hold. It's got a good grip without being too grippy, and it is nice and wide, so holding it all day is comfortable. The section area, the grip area, does have that taper, so if you don't like the Lamy 2000, but you can't figure out exactly where to grab it on the taper, this is sort of the same issue. This uses the, so this is a ballpoint, obviously, Lamy, it's the ballpoint. Aion, and this is using the M16 broad refill. And this is a nice broad ballpoint. Medium friction, not super high friction, not super low. It definitely does not feel real draggy like Lamy's older ballpoints. So I do have to say that it is a ballpoint that I feel fairly comfortable using day to day. In the past, I've really had some problems with the M16 refill because you buy this pen, it's fairly expensive, $50, something like that. And it uses this proprietary refill shape. So outside of Lamy's refills, this M16 sold in a medium, fine, and a broad. 9 times out of 10, you're seeing it in the medium. You have Monteverde refills that are shaped like this that used to be better than Lamy's, but they're not better anymore, I would say. So basically what you're left with is 3 different refills, fine, medium, broad, and a few different colors for this pen. Whereas if you spend a lot less on a typical pen and it uses a Parker G2 or a rollerball, a European rollerball style refill, you have many refill options. This one you really are stuck with the Lamy M16, so you have to take that into consideration. Past the refill, since that's just part of the game with Lamy, I think it's a really nicely constructed pen. It's one of my favorite ballpoints these days, at least in the plus $40 range. I think it offers pretty good value. The aluminum is really nicely made, it's comfortable. I think it looks extremely cool in the black. I've been less impressed with the silver, but I do like the aesthetics of the black a lot. I like the feel of the twist. Usually I'm not a twist fan. I usually go with a click retractable or a cap, but this twist I think is really well done. I think Lamy just really nailed the action and the feel and the lock. I do think the untwist action here, when it works, open the pen, it works great, and that's really nice. Once in a while, you will have it lock, and you can see it moving too far. Right here, you could see how the pen should stop, but because it's a press fit, it could keep rotating around, and that shouldn't happen, but it's not a deal breaker for me. It's definitely a shortcoming, and I would have liked to see that addressed, but it's not a huge deal. I will be curious to see what happens in the coming years. If this starts to wear out, basically these two materials, the outer aluminum shell and the inner aluminum, if one starts to wear down a little bit and that press fit doesn't work anymore, the pen is going to be ruined. But we'll see what happens in the coming years. But for now, I really do like the Lamy Aion line, and I think it's been sort of undervalued because it has got nice build quality and great aesthetics. So have really been enjoying this pen, and I would recommend people check it out. Thanks for watching.